But as we looked further in that conversation, we also felt that there were opportunities for us to extract a lot more value as a nation from this important festival. Yeah? We looked and we noticed that our visitors or returning Dominicans and persons who were booking flights to come to this island were generally booking flights to arrive in Dominica the week or a few days leading up to the event. We saw most persons coming in possibly on a Wednesday, some persons came on a Thursday, and some persons came on a Friday, the actual start of the music festival. And so we felt that we were not extracting maximum value from, I think, a very unique and great event. We also noticed several of our young budding artists who over the year would have invested their talents, their resources, and their time to create excellent pieces of music did not have the opportunity to get onto that big World Creole Music Festival stage, and for obvious reasons, I suppose. Yeah? We also felt that there were vendors who had invested and looked at the independent season as an opportunity for them to maximize the benefits from their trade. And because everything was actually submerged or condensed into just a 3-day event, that the opportunity to extract maximum value from the independent season wasn't really achieved. And so our conversation extended towards how we could make a difference. We were convinced we had the capacity to make the difference that we felt needed to be made. We were equally convinced that we had the skills, we had the resources, we had the capacity within our staff to make that difference. We also were equally convinced that we had this deep-rooted conviction for the long-term development of our country, and we felt a deep sense of obligation to make that difference. And I think we did, in fact, make that difference. What I want to point you to is how, in some tangible ways, I think that difference was actually realized. And so that conversation actually evolved into the conceptualization of an event. It evolved into the planning and implementation in what I think has easily become the biggest daytime event on our annual events calendar in Dominica. World Creole, not World Creole, sorry, but Creole in the past. And so what started as a mere reflection over how we had done well as a nation in terms of conceptualizing this unique event, World Creole Music Festival, stimulated our reflection and evolved into, as I said, the biggest daytime event in Dominica today. We made that difference because we created an opportunity for increased visitor arrivals in Dominica. So no longer persons were coming into Dominica to arrive on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Persons were now booking a week in advance because they felt that there was an important event that they needed to be a part of. So we had hotel occupancy being impacted, so hotel rooms were being booked for a longer period. We also had our vendors who now had a wider span to maximize benefits from their trade, because persons were now on island for an entire week in some instances prior to the start of the World Creole Music Festival. We also had the taxi drivers who were now doing more tours, as persons had great opportunity to get around the island and to do some site visits. We also had our local artists, our young budding artists, who prior to Creole in the past did not have the opportunity to get onto that big stage. We created a big stage with a big audience and exposed the talent of several young musicians in the island, on this island. And these are some of the ways I think we made that difference.